Alright guys, so we have some brand new kit changes for the 1.6 characters that just came out, and for this video, we'll be taking a look at all of the new S-Rank trigger kit changes, plus the changes that they made to her signature W engine. Trigger is an upcoming S-Rank for the 1.6 update, being a electric stun character, providing very unique sniping mechanics and gameplay, and she even has some off-field sniping. So she seems like a very interesting unit, especially with the new additional attack mechanic that she also brings to the table. So in this video, I'm going to go over all the brand new kit changes for Trigger. Let's see how much has really changed since the last update video. And if you guys want to be kept updated on everything Zenless, make sure to like and subscribe. And also feel free to put those notifications on to be updated right away 24/7 on the channel. But alright guys, let's get into it. We have quite a lot of new changes for both Trigger's kit and W engine to look over. So starting off here, I'm going to go over with the basic attack. Now for these set of changes, we both have the new changes and the old changes displayed on the screen, but I'm only going to go over specifically the new changes for this video. But alright, starting off with the new basic attack, Trigger enters a crouch shooting stance, continuously firing forward and dealing electric damage. During the attack, the joystick can also be used for minor movement. If hit while moving, you will also be able to do a counter shot that is triggered, dealing electric damage. Also, hitting enemies in sniping mode will accumulate stacks, which are called sniping points. You'll get 1 sniping point, while crouch counter shot accumulates 2 sniping points, up to a maximum of 6 points. Releasing the button or reaching 6 sniping points triggers an ultimate shot, which will deal massive damage, and it will also grant teammates the Trigger special attack buff. Now what this buff is the buff stacks limit increased based on the number of sniping points consumed. So the more stacks you consume, the better the buffs is going to be. Repeatedly triggering ultimate shot does not refresh the duration of Trigger's special attack, but does refresh its maximum stack limit. Now unfortunately, we do not know the multipliers on the new buff that she provides to your team, because previously with the old basic attack, she wasn't providing buffs to your team. Well, it said here that she provides a Trigger special attack effect to the entire team for 50 seconds, but it wasn't too clear on what it was exactly. So yeah, the first Trigger change for this video, we have her new basic attack. Now let's move over to her EX special attack, which has a new name now. Instead of aerial shooting, it's called Azure Thunder Slash. We have the old one and the new one right beneath it, so I'm going to go over the new one right away. When enough energy is available, you can tap the special attack button to activate. You can then also perform a upward slash, launching into the air before shooting at the ground, dealing electric damage. Grants all teammates affected by Trigger special attack 2 call Trigger points, which is very new. That wasn't the case before. And if you guys don't know, the Trigger special points is to do like her off-field sniping. Her off-field sniping will have a meter, which these Trigger points will call it into action. So this is actually really good. And also on top of that, increases the resistance to interruption during the attack animation and grants invincibility during the attack animation. Alright, so this is the before and after of the old and new EX special attack, Azure Thunder Slash. Now let's go over the ultimate, because the ultimate did receive some changes as well. We don't have the old and new one for the ultimate, but we still have some changes here. So the ultimate is now called Overload Engine. When disable reaches maximum, you can tap to activate to use the ult. Perform a powerful shooting on the large area of enemies in front, dealing massive electric damage. Instantly grants teammates the Trigger special attack buff, equivalent to consuming 6 sniper points. On top of that, grants invincibility during the move. Now again, no multipliers for this one, which would be really nice to know on the ult, because the ult always has a really high multiplier. But I do remember previously looking at multipliers in my kit breakdown. I did a kit breakdown on Trigger, a full dedicated video, so for those who want to check that out, I believe the multipliers are still the same as it was before, since we don't have any updates on the multipliers in this batch of changes. So went over the EX special attack and the ultimate. Now what's left to cover is going to be her additional ability. We have the both old and new one for her additional ability, so let's go over it. So the old one was really interesting. It was when you triggered when there are attack characters or characters from the same faction as Trigger, and during the Trigger special attack, your crit rate will be increased by 10%, and then if you have her crit rate above 40, Each 1% increase in crit rate boosted days value caused by triggers additional attack by 65% up to maximum increase of, and then it had an error here. But now with the new set of changes, it is now fixed. So here's the brand new additional ability called Energy Released. And here we have triggered when there are an attack characters or characters from the same faction in a team, which are the same conditions that it was before. But the effect is now completely different, which is now triggers additional attack accumulates 15% more days. And then the additional effect here, additionally, when triggers impact exceeds 140 points, every 3 additional points increase additional attack damage by 1% up to a maximum increase of 20%. So this does confirm it. You do want to build this character with a lot of impact, and makes sense because she is a stun character after all. She's going to be an electric stunner. So similar to Qingyi, you want a lot of impact on her, and maybe she'll be good with crit rate and crit damage, as I can see her doing a ton of damage with the off-field sniping mechanics. So looking like a very good character so far. Now I believe we have a few changes to the Mindscapes, and then we can check out the W engine changes, and then that'll be a wrap for this video. So the Mindscape 1 called Rapid Charge Mode. So this is a brand new Mindscape, very different from the last time. Days vulnerability effect provided per stack of trigger special attack is increased by 5%, and the initial call points required for teammates to activate trigger additional attacks are reduced to 8 points. Now we have the Mindscape 2 called Precision Discharge, which is now the EX special attack now grants teammates 4 points of cull when EX special attack hits enemies not in a dazed state. Its days accumulated is increased by 15%. And then we have changes to the Mindscape 4. Charge conduction upon activating a additional attack restores 4 energy. And the Mindscape 6 charge field. When she performs her basic attack, crouch sniping, or land a additional attack on the enemy, teammates in the trigger special attack state deals 45% increased damage to that enemy for 5 seconds. So this is all the Mindscape changes for trigger. Mindscape 1, 2, 4, and 6 received changes. Completely new effects here. And now the last mention of this video is going to be her W engine. So I'm going to pull up the full W engine details right here. It has a crit rate main stat of 24%. When the wearer launches additional attack to hit the enemy and cause electric damage, the target's defense is reduced by 20% for 5 seconds. And we do have changes here. It is no longer 20%, is now 25% defense shred instead of 20%. And for the rest of the changes, it will be 5% impact and 10% damage gain per additional attack instead of 3% for both. So if I read the full kit here, the effect that changed is a little bit at the bottom. The wearer's impact force increased by 3%, any damage caused increased by 3% up to 8 layers. Now this is no longer the case. This is now 10% for both, and the 5% impact that got added in as well. So yeah, this is the new changes for the Trigger W engine, and we'll conclude all the new trigger changes for this video. If you guys enjoyed, like and subscribe, and also let me know down below, are you guys pulling for Trigger? Are you hyped for this character? Because she's a very unique character. For me, I'm a really big fan, especially the gameplay with her doing off-field snipes and crouching on the ground and sniping the enemy, which I find really cool. Very unique character. So for that reason, I'm going to be pulling, and I might have to skip Ambi for it, unfortunately. But yeah guys, let me know down below. But that is all for this video. More updates to come. I have more roadmap videos on the way because we had huge changes, so stay tuned. But that is all for this one. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.